In this video, I'll be showing you how to install Pi-hole on your TrueNAS server. Pi-hole is a network-wide ad blocker that allows you to block all advertisements on all devices connected to a network. This includes devices like phones, computers, TVs, and Pi-hole acts as a DNS server that actively filters the traffic. Within your server, we're going to first navigate to the Datasets tab, where we will create 3 new datasets. The first dataset will be named Pi-hole and will serve as an overarching parent folder. Next, we'll create a sub-dataset and name it configs. Afterwards, we'll create another sub-dataset and name it DNS. Now, to avoid common permissions error, we're going to click on DNS and edit permissions, and we're just going to give it full read, write, execute access. Afterwards, be sure to save these permissions. Once datasets are created, we'll navigate to the Apps page and click Discover Apps. We'll scroll through the apps catalog till we find Pi-hole and then click Install. Within the configurations page, we'll first enter in the web password. You can change the port if you like, however, I'm going to keep mine default. Same goes for port number, I'm also going to keep this default as well. Under storage configurations, we will set the config storage to the dataset we made earlier. Same will go for the DNS configurations, where we will select the DNS dataset. Afterwards, every other setting is just going to be default, so we'll just click Install. Now that Pi-hole is installed, we will click the Web UI button. Here, we'll just create and set an initial password, and then click Login. Alright, we have successfully entered the Pi-hole UI. Now for the purpose of ad blocking, we're going to focus on the List tab. Here we can see Pi-hole actually gives us a default list of websites that it will block. However, I recommend adding the following address, which will be linked below in the video. This link contains the exact list that the ad blocker named uBlockOrigin uses. Now, although we have added the address, it is not yet active. To activate this address, we'll actually need to go to the Tools tab and update Gravity. So back on the List tab, you can see an X mark next to Gravity, meaning that this is actually still not active. If you're updating Gravity for the first time, like in this example, then don't worry, this is a common issue. Just simply go back into Tools and update Gravity once more. Alright, so now that there's a green check mark, we can see that the address was successfully added and is running. If you're looking for more block lists, a good starting place is to visit the GitHub link I provided below. Here contains a bunch of pre-made lists of malicious or annoying sites divided up by category. To install a list, we'll simply click and view the raw text file. Here we'll then grab the URL link and add it to the list tab within Pi-hole. Afterwards, we'll update Gravity once again to activate the list. Another useful tab is the Domains tab. Here we can add in specific domain or websites that we don't want blocked. In plain terms, this will essentially whitelist websites, and the reason this is useful is sometimes you find that the block list you had previously added ends up just blocking a site that you actually want to access. And here you will essentially be able to tell Pi-hole to block everything but that specific website. And if all else fails, you can always navigate to DNS controls section, where it gives you options to completely stop the service, stop it for a lot of time frames, such as 5 minutes, or even create your own time frame. All that being said, this video just covered the install of Pi-hole. Now, actually linking Pi-hole to your network is a whole different beast that depends heavily on your internet service provider. So in the future, I'll be creating a video on this to help out anyone that gets stuck on this step. With that, I hope you found this video helpful, and thank you for watching.